can I do for you today, sir?
What's your name?
Name's on my tag, man. You hard of reading?
Good evening.
Oh, hello there, Greg. How are
Are we
you?
having the usual this evening?
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine. Fine. Hey, John. Before I start a new meal, I better get rid of the one I had last night, huh?
Dr. Megan Stewart, please. What do you think? I think you have to take a shit. It's coming out of your mouth instead of your asshole.
Confession out of you, even if you've done nothing wrong. The number one way they'll outsmart you is to lie to you. And people don't recognize this, but the police are allowed to lie to you. And when they bring you in for questioning, or they come and show up and start talking to you, it's critical that you recognize they will make up things to try to get you to talk. I wrote down a few examples here to share with you for examples that I've seen with clients that I've represented at the Hampton Law Firm. I've seen officers do this in questioning, particularly detectives with younger, more naive clients. Let's say you've got somebody who, before they hired us, they went in and maybe they're in their, they're in their teens, their late teens or early 20s.
Police intimidation is a big thing. I've been there before. I've been, intimidated by the police. I've been thrown in the room. You're going to be there for at least 3 hours. And in some cases, they will actually try and beat a confession out of you. That actually happens a lot. You don't think it does, but yeah, off the record, of course. But yeah, they do try and beat confessions out of people. That still happens today. If that happens to you, what you need to do is you need to fight back, and you need to put a mark on the policeman's face. You need to put a scratch on his face, so you gotta make sure you can mark his face, okay? So if you ever go under police interrogation and they try to beat the hell out of you, yeah, they do that. I mean, it happens.
So that's number 2. Number 3 is fabricating evidence. Sometimes the police will claim they have evidence against you.
Not sometimes. This is all the time. Other times they will plant evidence or create evidence. Fabricating evidence, yeah. If you think the police don't fabricate evidence, you're naive.
I talk to so many people that say, listen, I had a detective call me. I think probably the best thing for me to do is to go in and talk to this detective. And I'm going to explain to him that I'm innocent and I did nothing wrong. I want you to understand, if a detective calls you and invites you in for a conversation, at no time are you going to actually be able to tell your side of the story.
That's fact. If they call you in, don't go in, okay? I mean, they are not interested in helping you. I hate to say it, but that's not their job.
Okay, number 5, your DNA. Here's another one, especially when they bring people in for questioning. The officers love to offer people like, a drink or food or anything that they can. Back in the old days, they'd offer a cigarette, any way that they could obtain a DNA sample. And many times, instead of going to have to go get a search warrant to obtain that DNA, they'll just bring you in and want to have a conversation. Then their whole goal is to be able to take that DNA sample and use it against you.
And you think they don't use that DNA to plant somewhere or to use to fabricate evidence? You're naive. Okay, this is, I believe he's out of Texas, but, he might be able to talk to you anyway. I don't know, but, yeah, he's explaining it better than I can, so that's why I'm using him. But, yeah, they will collect DNA off of a coffee cup or, something like that. They'll offer you a drink or something like that. Keep your hands to yourself. Try not to let any DNA out if you get thrown in a police interrogation room. But, yeah, that DNA will be used, and they will plant your DNA on the crime scene. Yeah, I mean, duh.
Okay, so that's number 6. Number 7, be careful when the officer claims he has an accomplice confession. Here's a big one. Let's say you were with someone else, and I kind of talked about this a minute ago. Let's say you have an officer who comes in and speaks to your buddy who is in the driver's seat, and maybe you were in the passenger seat. And one of the things I've seen officers do is walk in and say, hey, I've already interviewed your buddy. Your buddy's already told me that the drugs, they were yours. And in fact, we found these drugs underneath your seat. So you're kind of good for this. Unless you tell me what was going on with your friend, or unless you confess to what's going on here, I'm going to have to pin this on you. Now, notice I combined two of those lies. One, he lied about what your so-called buddy said when they didn't have anything from your buddy. And number two, they claim they found evidence that didn't actually exist under your seat. You understand you're going down a road that no matter what you say, it's going to make you look guilty. That's an example of if they start claiming they have an accomplice confession, the time to fight those claims is not talking to the officer. It's in court with your lawyer. Okay?
Keep that in mind. Good advice.
You always have the right to film a police officer. This drives me crazy. I see officers all the time try to tell people you're interfering with public duties. You absolutely, I will arrest you if you continue to film what's going on here at the scene. That is just 100% not true. You are allowed, if you're in a public space or in private property, you can pull out your phone and you can record everything that police officer is doing. Yep.
Okay, the only thing is, don't interfere with the police officer. Don't make yourself part of the investigation. Do give him some space to do that, okay? Because you could get hit with an obstruction charge. You filmed the police. I'll just tell you how it works in some places, although you don't always see it on YouTube. You get too close, that policeman's going to arrest you, and he's going to seize, your phone or your camera or whatever you're filming with, and whatever was on that camera, if you get your camera back, whatever you filmed won't be there. Or the phone will get lost or destroyed or whatever. Many cases, and I can't really tell you where, but there's a lot of places where if you get a little bit too close, they will arrest you immediately. They don't have to give you a warning to arrest you either. You can film. The police don't like it. And I see their point why they don't like it. But you are allowed to film legally as long as you don't interfere.
The only thing you cannot do is do not encroach upon an officer continuing whatever they're doing with someone else. So including your interaction with the police. You can record everything that the officer's saying to you, what you're saying to the officer.
Yeah, and they'll tell you can't film that. Guaranteed.
You have to leave.
Why?
Leave.
Make me leave.
Leave.
Make me leave.
Make you leave?
Yeah. Make me leave.
Make sure this is on. You have to leave, sir.
Make me leave. Say that again.
You called me retarded.
Say that again.
You're mental.
Body camera footage captures the shocking altercation between an Ohio police officer and a man who authorities say was suffering from a mental health crisis.
Think I'm playing, bro? Huh? Ain't nobody fucking mental. Can call somebody so I can talk to someone.
The incident happened on September 14th in Youngstown, Ohio. According to the police department, the man who you see here in the red shirt, who was later identified as Keyshawn Sims, approached the lobby of the department's auxiliary office, demanding to speak to the police chief.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Talk to like the chief or something. The chief only talks to people if they make an appointment. You have to make an appointment with the chief to see him. Okay.
The officer then tells Sims he will call someone for him. However, the officer says that unnamed person is unavailable.
She's not in her office.
And that's when the discussion takes a turn as the officer tells Sims he is unable to help him and asks Sims to leave.
Yeah, but everybody you need to talk to, that you want to talk to, you have to make an appointment to see them. Well, that's the way it's going to be. You can say no all you want. Okay. I have someone who actually needs help. Can you have him? Sir, don't be difficult. Just, there's no one that will talk to you. No. Because you're talking about some kind of manifestation. It's that, you know what that tells me? That you're mental. You're mental.
The officer then gets up from his desk and walks to the lobby area where Sims can be seen waiting for the officer.
Say it.
You have to leave now, sir.
Or what?
You have to leave now, sir.
Call someone right there.
I'm not calling anyone.
Yeah,
you have to leave.
Why?
Leave.
Make me leave.
Leave.
Make me leave.
Make you leave?
Yeah.
And then the confrontation turns physical.
Make me leave.
Make sure this is on. You have to leave, sir.
Make me leave. Say that again.
You called me retarded.
Say that again.
You're mental.
Mental, bro. Yeah. Think I'm playing, bro? Huh? Ain't nobody fucking mental. Can call somebody so I can fucking talk to someone.
The officer tells Sims to get off of him, but shortly after, another physical confrontation happens again between the two.
Say that again. Say that again. We can do this all day.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Seconds later, the officer then pulls out what appears to be his service weapon and points it towards Sims, and both get into yet another physical altercation. Additional officers are able to come to the officer's aid, where they tackle Sims to the ground.
Not today. Yeah. Y'all hear that out here?
Who is it, man?
I have no idea.
Surveillance video shared by the Youngstown Police Department also captured the physical confrontation between Sims and the officer, as Sims can be seen striking the officer repeatedly. Sims can then be seen tackling the officer, and when the officer reached for his service weapon, Sims put the officer in what appears to be a headlock before being tackled by another officer to break up the altercation. The officer's body cam then captures Sims being placed in handcuffs, but not without a final word from Sims to the officer.
I'm gonna see you again.
Hope so.
Thank you.
Punch. Yeah, okay.
What's
I'm gonna get all your.
What's your first name?
You. That's what it is.
Sims was eventually taken away in a squad car and charged with assault on a peace officer, menacing, obstructing official business, aggravated robbery, and intimidation. The Youngstown Police Department says neither the unnamed officer or Sims suffered severe injuries.
I am a Jew. Let me tell you what those words mean. They mean I'm a child of the people of the book, the people who brought the world Moses' message of freedom and Jeremiah's message of justice and Isaiah's message of hope, the people who represent the root of the values of the West, the people who preserve the tradition thousands of years old stretching back to Sinai, the people of the Ten Commandments and the splitting of the Red Sea, of the Holy Temple, and of Abraham's one God. I'm a Jew. I'm a member of a people who will not be victimized again. And please pass this on. I'm sure your prayer will make a difference. Remember, we are in this together. We are on the front lines with weapons, and you fight with us in your prayers. Every word of your prayer gives us strength, protection, and success.
So I'm trying to get celebrity reactions to what's going on with the Palestinians and Israelis right now.
Let me just tell you, if New Jersey were firing rockets into New York, we would wipe them out. I am so bored. We heard they were digging tunnels from New Jersey to New York. We would get rid of Jersey. So I don't want to hear anymore, oh, we'll do a partial truce. And Palestinians, you cannot throw rockets and expect people not to defend themselves. Because I have been over there. That's how I know. And I wish the world would know. And BBC should be ashamed of themselves. And CNN should be ashamed of themselves. And everybody, stop it already.
Selena Gomez tweeted a pro-Gaza.
Oh, Selena Gomez. Oh, yeah, that college grad.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Joan Rivers is a legend and a hero of the Republic, and damn the deep state for taking her out.
In the wilds of American politics, we encounter a remarkable tale of transformation. Our protagonist, a young idiotic bartender, embarks on an astonishing journey that takes her from behind the bar to the corrupt halls of Congress overnight. This young jackass not known for her intellectual prowess, is driven by a fervent commitment to woke ideology. As she ascends into the halls of corruption, our young jackass is filled with idealism and vodka, determined to implement her idiotic ideas. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges, and her extremely low intellect quickly becomes even more apparent. Her woke policies lead to chaos, and the area she represents becomes even more of a shithole. Is a cautionary tale of putting a bartender in charge of more than making margaritas.
I agree. If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism? Well, you should not be surprised. I agree. If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where
Example why I hate State Farm. I represent a barber. Now he owns a barber shop, so he makes money off the other people who cut hair, but he also paid himself a salary for the haircuts that he would cut. He gets into an accident, has an objectively bad injury, he can't work. I tell him you gotta stop paying yourself and State Farm will pay you through the no-fault policy. State Farm says we're not paying you because you haven't proven to us that your business suffered. And I said to State Farm, that's not the standard. He only has to show that he isn't making his wage anymore, and he's not. I sue State Farm. 5 years later, after all this litigation, they finally pay the guy. Now they have to pay him interest from the date of the accident. They have to pay his attorney's fees. And so why State Farm thinks that screwing over their own insured is a good idea, I'll never know.
Be helpful or unhelpful?
It would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a picnic. This is going to happen here, I think, too, although maybe people will fight it. So in China, for example, if a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, the digital ID system has your blood now, has your genetic code. It can identify how you walk. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score. And if your social credit score falls below a certain level, you can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train. You can't get out of your 15-minute city. They're microchipping welding machines in China now, so you won't be able to use a welding machine without scanning your face. They have locked down knives in China. Knives are literally chained to the counter.
Oh, like at the bank or something, you mean?
No, in your house. All that's already in place in China.
Do you think that that would be helpful or unhelpful?
It would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a picnic.
Cheers to that.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, nothing wrong with me. I'm here to go.
Are you getting paid to do this?
Man, you're jumping to all the classic one-liners of Lazy Bones. I am here to help
You know
it. What?
Don't talk to me.
But I have to because you left your card out. It's my job.
Write me a ticket?
Well, I got it. I've got sort of a ticket here.
Yeah, why don't you write me a ticket?
It says, I don't return my shopping cart like a jerk. I think I just put it right there.
Get the fuck away from my phone.
I thought you said you wanted a ticket.
You are unbelievable.
No, the person who leaves their card up on the curb is unbelievable because now it's harder for
Don't come near my car again.
I thought you wanted your ticket, ma'am.
Don't come near my car again.
You changed your mind awful quick.
I hope you're recording.
Why is that?
It's like a joke.
Well, yeah, people leave their carts out our jokes. You're right. Here, I got a litter bug magnet for you. I can't hear you.
This is the cart narc, the idiot Sebastian. Yeah, he's cruising for a bruising.
Okay, let me say this real quick. If you are a witness to a crime, that does not mandate you as a police officer. Okay? If you are a witness to the crime, that does not give you license to enforce that, the laws. Yeah, you cannot enforce judgment on a crime that you witness. This guy is not a cop. Yeah, so what he's doing is he's committing a crime. So he witnessed somebody leaving their shopping cart on the curb, which, by the way, is not illegal. But anyway, now he's trying to enforce that code, and that in itself is a crime. All you frauditors out there, you're not police. You don't have a badge. All you self-appointed vigilantes for stealing valor, You are not police. You witness a crime, report it. Witnessing a crime does not give you an official mandate to enforce laws that you don't even understand.